With the tax deadline right around the corner, and if you're one of those people struggling to get your papers in, we've got all of the help for you this morning. We've got John Neyland with JCN Financial with us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Big day, April 15th, right around the corner.
Man, it is a big day. In my family, we had 6 kids, and my dad was a tax preparer. Did every return by hand. We all knew what April 15th meant. Freedom for us.
Right, but we were talking earlier, actually. I mean, if people are really these last-minute procrastinators, and here we are 3 days beforehand, what should people know? Well,
it's more important to get done right than right now. So mistakes can be very costly. The 2 most common filing mistakes are improperly recording your Social Security number or just simple math problems. And, of course, what that can bring on is something we don't want. It can flag you for a potential audit.
And we talk about this April 15th deadline. There's even stricter deadlines within that day. So what should people know about, this Wednesday?
Well, the return has to be filed by 11:59 Wednesday night, April 15th. Now, you can file it electronically or you can do it by mail. It needs to be stamped 11:59, either postmarked or time-stamped at the date and time.
Mm-hmm. And now you said the IRS doesn't want any type of mistakes on these tax filings. We don't want any mistakes.
No.
And filing for an extension is okay.
Well, it's interesting because I think a lot of people think there's something wrong with that. A few years ago, one of my relatives, we filed a return extension for them. They were all upset, and I said, "What's the problem?" And they had some concern about it. But the IRS doesn't want a mistake either. You get 6 months to file the return once you do extension. You need to be aware of this, though. When you file an extension, you can still be subject to penalties. So there's 2 penalties potential. One is a late filing penalty, and the other is late payment. So if you file extension this Wednesday and you owe taxes, you need to go ahead and send payment in for that anticipated tax.
So you still have to get that payment in. What is something new this year that people need to be aware of?
Man, I think it's probably going to be one of the more talked about things you're going to hear. But this year, with the Affordable Health Care Act, now you're required to tell the government whether you had insurance or not, file a form. So if you did, you're going to pay a pretty stiff penalty for some people for not having their insurance. Also, there's been some changes to your contribution limits in your 401ks. How often you can roll over your IRA has been changed. And if you have a complex return and it's not done now, I would go ahead and file an extension and get time to get done right.
And finally, some local resources people can use as we approach this April 15 deadline.
Well, online you can file for extension with the IRS.gov, or most any tax preparer or preparation service can file an extension for you online, or file your return actually. There may be a small fee, but it'd be a fee worth paying.
All right, John Neyland with JCN Financial. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. April 15 deadline. Got to go ahead and give mine to my parents because I don't even touch the taxes.